Hey, thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing. If you want a monthly reading of your specific sign, go to my Patreon link down below, and there'll be other options as well if you'd like. Spring equinox reading for fire signs. The element of fire. Alright, so let's go ahead and just shuffle, starting here. Okay, let's just shuffle a bunch of cards, and then we'll get into the reading. Fire signs: Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, spring equinox 2021. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, spring equinox 2021. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, spring equinox, spring season for 2021. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, spring season, equinox 2021. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, spring equinox, spring season 2021. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, spring equinox, spring 2021. For the first phase of the season, which could be roughly a month, depending on your circumstance or your birth date. But you got the cosmic heart, fire signs, fire elements, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. This is remembering what you are fighting for, or remembering why you're doing what you're doing. You may be seem to be having to reassure yourself, or guess if this is really what you need to be doing or what you are supposed to be doing. But rest assured, fire elements, that yes, you've got things lining up for you to work out and be great. You just gotta stay focused. All right, so the first part of that first, like this week here, from the 21st till whatever, it could be 8 days for you, it could be 6 days for you, it just depends, like I said, on your birthday alignments. But what you have here, you have the Ten of Pentacles upside down. But with this Edgar Allan Poe Ten of Pentacles, it's about finding the treasure. or achieving the values, but it's in reverse. So there may be some upset with anything that financially is influencing your life. But you have two great cards that aren't in reverse. And with the as above cards, you have the Five of Air, which is knowing thyself, um, strengths, weaknesses, being aware of what you're giving up your power to. And then you have the Knave of Pentacles here as so below deck. So this is as above, so below. So the correlation here, knowing thyself, and you're good at intel with the physical world, knowing how things work, being able to achieve what you need to fill this treasure up, or get to a new treasure, or an adventure, a new adventure to replenish what you've lost with the Aquarius in the coming up alignments during spring. Fill this back up and get going again. All right, the second phase of the first month, or first part of the season, you got three reverse cards. You got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Upright, this would be, mature emotions, bearing them, or letting an even balance of emotions, give and take. But in reverse, you're in balance. You're not considerate, maybe a little selfish with your emotions, not doing the work. Focus on, especially with these two other cards here. As above, you've got the initiation, which is following the divine path, being true. No, but this is in reverse, so it's the opposite, right? You're not doing that. You're not being true to what you believe in. You're not practicing what you preach. And then you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands tends to be, with this deck, so below, giving of others, helping others, being that leader, but now you're surrounding yourself for your own selfish needs and attention for these two other cards, your emotions. You're surrounding yourself just to get the attention about these issues that you're dealing with, and not, you may be holding this belief that you have as a crutch, and having those around you just to hear you about this, but you're not actually practicing what you preach behind the scenes, or when they're not looking, or when they're not paying attention. It's one of those, like, not being true through and through, having the difficult moments of being yourself. The third week, or area of the first stage of your spring season, fire signs, you have the Two of Wands in reverse. Now, typically with this Edgar Allan Poe card, it's a story about a guy who catches, or is, something catches his eye, which is an old man that's walking away, and he follows him, and he sees that he has a dagger and a diamond. So he makes the assumption that this is an expert criminal. What this card is about, upright, is being very observant and taking your time and making sure you're making the right decisions, and that what you see is truly what you see. It may not be what it seems, right? So that in reverse, that's exactly the problem. You're not seeing things clearly, kind of upside down, inverted, not being aware of how you see things. Maybe you need to look at things a little bit differently. You have your main Ace of Fire here as the for these as above deck. Ace of Fire is the Sun, and make sure you don't burn out or run out or have a solar flare and cause chaos. or have massive sunspots and get weak from, make sure you get enough rest and stuff like that. Don't get overexhausted. It's upright, so you're pretty good on that. You know how to do all that. And then the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry about that. My camera decided to just die on me, so I had to plug it in and keep it charging. But with the Queen of Pentacles, this is carrying in reverse. This is caring more about appearance than substance. With the Two of Wands, these two directly correlate. Maybe things aren't as they seem. Caring more about appearance than substance. With that burning sun passion of what you expect, maybe you need to lower your expectations just a little bit and be satisfied with the compromising. See what I'm saying? Like, oh, maybe the person you could be right for you isn't as beautiful or as attractive as you would like it to be, or what they wear or whatever it is that bothers you. Maybe you should just compromise with that. Let a little bit of it slip because you're not perfect, right? What if they got to compromise for what you got? Compromise with something they don't necessarily like about you. So that's what this is giving me the insight about, that in the third stage of the first phase of spring, however that aligns for you, there's going to be a possibility of caring more about appearance, and they aren't as it seems, and make sure you don't get burned out. And the final phase of your first stage of spring, you have the Fool in reverse. With this Edgar Allan Poe story, it's about a guy who lived his life like a great fool, who knew how to enjoy life, had no worries, just loved adventure. But there was a guy who asked him, because he was a connoisseur of sorts, to go with him to make sure he got the right thing. Well, in reverse, this card is about potentially being deceived and taken advantage of and having issues with that. With the As Above card, this is about Persephone and her mother, and making sure that you have prepared properly for the winter, or have you? Maybe you've had all of the resources that you've prepared for in the winter are coming to an end, or you're running out, or they're dwindling away, and you're worried about them running out. With the Ten of Pentacles earlier in this first phase. And as below, what's this? The Four of Pentacles, checking on your reserves. Just make sure what you thought you had, you actually have. For all you know, things have been dwindling away, and you're sitting there like she is, wondering what's going on. I thought I had more than I thought. Little gnomes here getting in her jelly. So something to think about. Maybe this is a warning right now telling you, if you're watching this early. If you're not, double check. Just make sure you're thorough. For the second stage, or part of spring for you fire signs, you've got the crystal path. Mineral spirits, crystal beings. This also has to do with soul groups, past lives, connections. Edgar. Speaking of Edgar Cayce, he talked about how we all have these soul groups, or like we're all connected, like a bunch of bubbles. In your side of the pond, you've got some people that you share close connections with from past lives, or ancestors with, karma. So, and also, this is a good time. So maybe in May, or the end of April, or Yeah, somewhere around there in the second phase of whatever it is for your birthday and your alignments. You might want to get some crystals, or make sure you have crystals before this comes, and do enough research and understanding which crystals would best help you and what you're going through. All right, first week, first part of the second stage phase of spring. You got this Four of Cups here. This is a story about a hypnotherapist telling a guy to go so deep into hypno that he goes to the afterlife and ends up dying. Reflective of Edgar Allan Poe's kind of stories and writing. But anyway, so this is more about you hypnotizing yourself and what you think or believe, because these other two cards, as above, transformation in reverse, difficulty making changes, transforming in the right way, moving in the right way. You're having trouble, real hard trouble with it. You're like stubborn to the point of being very, very stubborn. And then the Five of Pentacles, not knowing what to do about the circumstances that you're in. Resources are in question. Just lost a little bit, stuck, hypnotizing yourself to death. Be very, very careful, fire signs. Alright, fire signs, another tough circumstance here in the second week or second part of the second stage in spring for you, and depending on your birthday. Six of Cups. This is a story about Edgar Allan Poe and a little girl he knew when he was a young boy, and he gave her 6 gifts, which are stories, and they're reflected down here in the cups. So this is him cherishing a good memory he had. So you may be going back and thinking of good old days for yourself, good times you've had. Unfortunately for you, with the Crone of Water in reverse, the Crone of Water is putting a memory in a bottle. Upright, be a good memory. Reverse, this is something you can't get over. Something you're not letting go of, and you need to do something about it. What do you have here? Four of Chalices in reverse. As above, so below. These two cards are pretty much the same thing. The memory that you can't let go of, wallowing over it, having depressive moments, whether it be a separation, a loss, something like that. There's something there that's just holding you up big time, and that's going to come up, and it's going to be tough. So, find the right people, find the right things to focus on. Don't focus on the bottled up problem. Alright, third stage of the second phase in spring. You've got 10 of Swords. This is a story about a detective finding 2 women murdered, one in the chimney and one outside. The door is locked. He concludes only an animal could do something like this, and he was right. This is about turmoil, turbulence, endings, trouble in paradise, just having a hard time. And then the Nine of Water. Typically, upright Nine of Water here is about abundance, having everything you need, but with it reversed, you're kind of turning your back to that. You're like not in the mood. You've got these 3 cards. This part of the reading are very reflective of the previous stage 3 of the first month, or week 3 of the first month, when you're kind of burned out. Things aren't as they seem. It also has a correlation with the previous week here, or previous part of the reading, with the Six of Cups, the Crone of Water, and the Four of Chalices. As above, not turning your back on things. And as below, Queen of Chalices. Fortunately, this is upright, Queen of Chalices. So you have some good listening skills, or someone does that's close to you, or you can get it, resolve these issues, this turmoil that you're dealing with, and get cooler heads to prevail. Alright, and the final week or final part of your second stage in your spring session for your life here, 2021, you got the world. This is a story about El Dorado, going to El Dorado, not seeking El Dorado, which is like the city of heaven or like a golden city. And he finds out that only in death will he truly achieve what he's looking for, desire of knowledge, ultimate, wisdom, and whatnot. But this is just showing an end of a journey, achieving success. It's upright, so getting what you've been working hard for. You got Pluto here, 9 of Fire, in reverse. This is once again being stubborn, rejecting the wisdom or knowledge of burdens that you carry, because the 10 of Wands is all about the, she's got her hands full, she's got her phone in one hand, keys in another, trying to unlock her door, carrying too much, a lot going on, even though you finally made it, but you still got a lot going on where you've made it, and you're being stubborn about something, underworld knowledge, something suppressed. Remember the bottled up, where was it, back here a couple weeks ago in the reading, not a couple weeks ago, literally when I'm talking to you right now. No, I'm talking about the spring phase here with the, which was it, the corona water, bottled up emotions. Right there, it's coming up again, and you're like, I got too much, I just finally finished, I'm not in the mood to deal with this stuff. And if you don't, it's going to come haunt you later. And finally, the last month or area of your spring season, you have come to the edge. This is where you're dealing with the things that you fear most, taking that leap of faith, being transparent with the ones you're trying to develop a relationship with or have a relationship with, or doing that work that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks with all the other cards during your spring season, and just let it all out and be like, yeah, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. Sorry, I haven't been completely upfront, but now I am. So, better late than never. Alright, fire signs, finally some good cards popped up here. So the Three of Pentacles, this is a story about 3 Jewish men handing over some coin in Pompeii, and the Romans trick them because there's a heavy fog down here, and put a pig in there, which is kind of racist because Jews don't eat pigs, right? But this is about teamwork. It's upright. This is all about teamwork, achieving goals, getting things done, diligence, rehearsal, making sure, practice it, make sure it's going to go as planned. And then you have omens, which is the Tower in reverse. So the ending of all that you've been dealing with, the end of a bad, like, what comes down can be rebuilt. So this is a time to rebuild whatever it is that you've been dealing with, you've been stubborn about. Come to the edge, being transparent. It's also the Ten of Swords, taking care of it, having all that you need, putting an end to all the old stuff, putting it behind you, doing the work to get rid of the bottled up stuff, the stuff that you didn't have time for, the stuff that you were carrying too much other burdens, that you had this bottled up one that you couldn't address at the time. Now you're dealing with it. Looks like it's all going to be a good turnaround, a rebuilding of whatever that was for you. Alright, second week, second part of the final phase in spring for you fire signs. You have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is a story about a man who ends up killing himself because he can't be with the woman he wants to be with, even though he has all the rest, everything he's ever wanted, divine, or not divine, but beautiful or expensive luxuries. But it's in reverse. So instead of being, what's the word I'm looking for, frugal or something, I don't know. It's about not being balanced with your material possessions or material aspects or finances or whatever it is that has to do with Four of Pentacles. Whether it's being greedy or because money is energy and you got to let it flow. So invest it or give some charity, do something with it besides just sitting on it. And then you have two other good cards here. You have the Six of Water, which is all about creative expression, art, music, dance, science, math, being expressive in a positive manner. And then strength, being able to achieve, get it done, a good pace, not overdoing it, not exhausting yourself, because it's upright. So even though you may have the Four of Pentacles upside down, you have what it takes to manage it and to somehow come to a good conclusion. Alright, third stage of this final part of your spring is got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is a story about, I can't pronounce her name correctly, but she is the wife of a ruthless king, and she tells a story about Sinbad, so Persia or something, and he ends up killing her after the 1002nd day of marriage because he forces her to tell stories every day, and he gets fed up with one of the stories or it's not cutting it, and he's like, but she goes on knowing that he'll never know the ending of the story. But this is about potentially bad investments because it's in reverse. Shopping too much, spending too much money. This other card here, the Four of Wands, is about celebration. It's like, holidays or whatever, whatever it may be, someone's birthday, some kind of celebration for some reason. You're spending money, shouldn't be probably. Plus you have the Eight of Air, which is your mind's running rampant, can't focus, can't meditate, you got a lot going on in your mind, can't think right, so you're like trying to have a good time, but your money's on your mind, and there's a lot going on with finances. And the final part of your reading, fire signs, is the Three of Swords in reverse. Typically this is about heartbreak, but it's in reverse. So this is about healing, getting the, how can I say this, the blessing you need to heal possibly, or the love you need to heal from yourself possibly, or from somebody you've always held dear to your heart, who's been in your life for a long time. Mother of Air is all about writing, communication, building bridges, but it's in reverse. So the opposite of that, you're having trouble with building bridges, communicating, or writing. And the Two of Wands is all about gathering resources or getting a clear vision, but That's what you're having trouble with, is getting a clear vision. You're changing your mind about something, or having trouble changing your mind. You're not manifesting as you potentially could be, and you want to do that. You're having trouble here, so possibly communicating, but you're doing healing. So this is just one of those like bubbling potential. We'll see, like in the next reading for your next season in the summer, where this leads to. But it seems like it's like not quite as comfortable as you would like, wanting it to be more smooth, but this is kind of a necessary test of you to get this done. And that's your reading. Thanks for watching. Please go to my Patreon, become a Patreon, $2 a month, and you'll be able to get a monthly reading. There's other options as well if you would like. And thanks for watching. See you next time.